everyone's been seduced by the digital, the kind of the fast results. I do an AdWords campaign, I'll get results. If they're actually focusing on a brand that resonates with their customers, it's not going to work. It's not going to get results, at least. So I think that to tell people that the brand is where you start and it underpins everything. Otherwise, you're just not going to get results. And I feel strongly about this. And so I think it's perfect. The strategy, great. But then you've got to have the foundation right. And then I can demonstrate how that works by bringing in all the components and telling the story of this client well by doing that. So I just think that a lot of people think it's a bit too esoteric, the idea of brand. And it's actually, that's why I like to use case studies to demonstrate by all that stuff. Yeah, I think it'd be perfect.
And if I make it real, and I can tell stories about brand insight projects that we've done. The one that I was going to tell today, but it didn't fit in the time, was Darling Downs Health. They're a hospital and health service. They do medical. The doctors don't talk to the nurses don't talk to the other hospitals. It's the normal, bureaucratic nightmare. And I did 10 focus groups traveling around the Darling Downs, having a lot of Devonshire teas. It was awesome. Wine in Stansthorpe, that was fantastic. And just gathered stories, people's stories of what it is to be proud of what you do in Darling Downs. And there were tears. There was so many tears because people suddenly felt proud of what they do. That's the power of brand. It brings in a little bit of tribalism as well, which might be, something nice to touch on as well. That if you do have a powerful brand, you can actually build a tribe around you that's going to be your buffer in really tough times like this.
I do think that's something that we don't talk enough about with small businesses particularly. I think that people think that that's only reserved for large organisations with large numbers of people. But I think the lady that was on the call this morning who had a jewellery party business, there could be people who are passionate lovers of that experience, and they would be as strong, referrers and, verbal discussions with their friends that would be as good as a social media post if she understood the kind of the connections, perhaps putting those people together more regularly.
Look at Thermomix. If you're a Thermomix owner, you are tribal and you will click on everything and watch everything. Yeah, at least when you first buy it, because you're trying to justify the 2.5K.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
That's true. All right. Well, that all sounds good. I think that makes sense for everybody. I did hit the record button in the middle of all of that because I just thought it's useful. We might be able to get a few sound bites that we can use for a little bit of social media. I do think it helps. What we find is that people, when they see our speakers talking in advance, how you were talking about this morning, Suzanne, about anything that they feel like that there's a fear or an unknown, then there's less likelihood of them actually connecting. Whereas we kind of figure if you can get a little bit of a sense of what the speakers are like and who they are, then they go, oh, I need to hear the rest of that conversation. That sounds good. All right. I think that sounds like a plan. So in terms of timing, because there's 3, we'll just do 7 minutes each. And so it'll be pretty straightforward. Like we did today, Suzanne, everyone was very good with time. But if we get a sense that you're running over, I'll send you a chat notice that might pop up that says you've got so many more minutes. And then if you're going a bit longer, then you might see a question slide behind you that says, okay, that's time's up. When we change slides away from your slide to the question slide, that means time's really gone now, which we had
fair enough.
James this morning.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't really watching his chat. But anyway, other than that, it's a lot of fun. You'll meet a lot of people and some people, and hopefully some of those will convert into some interesting questions and discussions for you. If you want to, so Groei.us is our community. It's worthwhile getting on there and joining. It doesn't take long if you want to sign up. And if you want to, it's a good way of connecting with people who are at the forum. A lot of the people who go will join that, and then you can keep the conversation going. And we're building a special sort of a subgroup in that of recommended consultants and people that we can refer too. And so all of our panelists are going to be coming in there. And so if any tools like the tool you shared today, Suzanne, will put against you in that part of the group.
Right.
So
Thank you.
that means people can find you easily and find the resources that you've helped us create. So that's the whole point, is making connections with people, ideally.
That's brilliant. And, you know, ensuring that Jane and I get to meet.
Yes, well, that was really important.